Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. On behalf of ISKCON founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, I would like to welcome all of you to ISKCON Naperville. Is there anyone here for the first time? You can raise your hands. No? Okay. Welcome. So today,
Shri Shri Radha Madhava, Shri Radha Sham Sundar. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविता शाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहं। दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे च जनकात्मजा, पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। Hey Krishna, thank you for joining us for our Sunday feast. Thank you for inviting me, having me over here. Since it's the time of the holidays and everyone's in a, I guess, celebratory mood, I thought I'll pick something that is, as it's called, delightful. And I must say it's delightful for me, and hope that it'll be also for you. It's already begun on a great note. Is it here? You know, you've noticed every time I sit here with the computer, and this time it's not even mine. I think the writing is on the wall. I mean, nice to see Radharani's face, but what's going on? I can see it here. You should change to Mac. So it's delightful in the sense some of us, maybe many of us, we take the words Krishna consciousness in a very narrow, if you will, way, that we may not appreciate the forms of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna in different ways and different avatars. But here's something where Okay. So in a day of Brahma, or particularly this day, in our calendar we call it December 19, 2021. But in Lord Brahma's calendar, we are in a day called Shweta Varaha Kalpa. And in this, about 4,320,000,000 years for the day part and an equal for the night part. We are a little beyond or just close to noon for Lord Brahma. So in each of the day of Lord Brahma, there are many yuga cycles, 1,000. And there are 14 Manus who come and go in one day of Brahma. And each Manu lasts for about 71 Yuga cycles. Yuga cycle is Satya Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta, and Kali. Very interestingly, only when Vaivasvata Manu, which is the current Manu here, in his reign on the 28th cycle, the Dwapara and Treta are interchanged. It is more from an almanac perspective in terms of calculations, but that's how it is. And in Vaivasvata Manu's time, there are, remember, 71 Yuga cycles, of which we are going through the 28th Yuga cycle. In the 25th Yuga cycle, or Treta Yuga, is when Sri Ramachandra appeared. So if you make some calculation, we're talking about 100 million years ago, if my calculations are roughly somewhere there. Let's put it this way, very long time ago, Ramachandra appeared. And 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna appeared. Although the time gap between the two appearances is quite long from a human earthly calculation, there are some continuations from that past time to this. And because I'm a student of both the Bhagavatam and the Ramayana, I just took it on myself to find some connections, and I called them delightful connections. I'm not sharing with you all of them. That was a separate presentation I'd made a year ago, and if I'm invited again, I'll do another part for you, where there are about 9 or 10 some connections. But today, I wanted to at least set the stage that to look at I mean, jokes aside, because it's a sweet topic, and there is some, I guess, gravity to it as well, because we are, after all, followers of Lord Chaitanya, and for us, the topic of love in separation from Krishna is a very serious topic. So we'll touch a little of that as well. Hopefully, please all put your hands together. And we offer our prayers to the deity of the computer that everything goes well and nothing goes wrong. So this delightful connection is between Lord Krishna and Lord Ramachandra. as she's narrating the story, like any child who's listening to the story, Krishna also says, That means he's listening. So in this verse, you will see those words Krishna repeating. Okay? So she says, I'm going to break it down, so just follow along, it's there. Ramo Nama Babuva. Okay? So she said there was someone by the name Rama. Tad Abala Sitya iti. Please play Krishna's role for me, okay? We'll do it again. Ramo Nama Babuva. Tad Abala Siteti. Tam Piturvacha. Her father's words, his father's words. Panchavati Vane Nivasastas. Okay, they went to live in a place called Panchavati. Tasya means of her, or she was. Aharad, kidnapped. Ravanaha. She was kidnapped by Ravana, is the story Mother Yashoda is saying. And then Rupa Goswami says, Krishnayati, Krishnaya iti Puratanim Nijakatham Akarnya. When Krishna heard his own story from an age back, Mataretitam, from his mother, suddenly he jumped out of Mother Yashoda's lap, stood up and said, Saumitre, Kwa Dhanur, Dhanur iti Vyagraha. In a very fierce voice, he called out, Lakshmana, where is my bow? Where is my bow? Where is my bow? And the poet says, may these words of Lord Krishna, Pantu Vaha, may they protect us. That Krishna, while he's hearing his own story, went back into flashback mode, I guess, and remembered his own pastimes as Lord Ramachandra many, many years ago. A 17th century poet wrote this verse. Unfortunately, we don't know the name. As in Padyavali, many are unknown. So this is not from Padyavali, but this is my search for some delightful connections. So here's a verse, and I want you to see which words or phrases you may recognize. I want to hear from you. Yat putana marana labdha kirti kakodaro yena vinita darpaha yashodaya lankrita punya murti natho yadunam athava raghunam. Okay? So first line says Yat putana marana labdha kirti. Any idea what it might mean? Some words do you recognize? Putana, Ravana, Marana. Putana Marana, one who killed Putana. Labdha Kirti, who became famous by killing Putana. Who's that? Okay, very good. Kako daro yena vinita darpaha. Darpa means arrogance. Someone's pride was crushed. Whose pride was crushed? By Krishna? Kaliya. Kakodaro means one who has a dark chest. That is Kaliya. Kakodaro yena vinita darpaha. Yashodaya alankrita punya murti. One whose very sweet transcendental form is being decorated by Yashoda. Right? Yashoda alankrita punya murti. So it's talking about Krishna. And in the last line he says, Natho, that Supreme Lord, Yadunam, the Lord of the Yadus. And then he says, Athava Raghunam, or Lord Ramachandra. Where in Lord Ramachandra's pastimes is Putana? Where is Kaliya the serpent and Yashoda? So this is part of a devotee and poet's way of connecting, just as in the Hare Krishna mantra, the first two lines are about calling Hare Krishna, and the last two lines we say Hare Rama. Right? In the same shloka, we have these two personalities, or the same personality in different features. So the beauty of this verse is, if you just make your pauses in different places. Okay? Hey. Am I okay? What happened? Okay, I thought I had this in. So here's the breakup. Yat puta nama rana labdha kirti. Puta means very pure. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, Krishna says, Puta madbhavam agata. One who's very purified attains my nature. So yat puta nama. Those he whose names are very pure. Yat puta nama rana labdha kirti. One who became very famous by fighting a great war. That is Ramachandra. Kako dara. Kaka dara. In Sanskrit, the word dara is used to say someone, call someone insignificant. Okay? An insignificant crow. Kaka means crow. An insignificant crow whose pride was crushed. Anyone know the story of crow and Ramachandra? Oh, very good. Thank you. You're giving me content. In Sundarakanda, when Hanumanji, which is what we're going to come to, goes to convey the message of Lord Ramachandra, Sita Devi, because she's a very, very smart lady, she says, okay, you say you are a representative of Lord Ramachandra, but I need some proof. So, give me some proof. And so then Hanumanji, for about 90 verses is the conversation, describes every limb, body part of Ramachandra with such precision that, in fact, even describes the thighs of Ramachandra that most people will never see. But because Sita Devi knows, she says, yeah, you're right. I now trust you. You've given me, what my passwords are, I guess, if you will. And then when he says, now I'm going back to meet Ramachandra, what if he asks me, did you really meet Sita? How will I know you did? So here's a story that you can narrate to him, only he knows and no one else. And so the story she narrates is back when they were in the forest together, one afternoon. Lord Ramachandra lay on Sita Devi's lap and took a siesta, like afternoon siesta, just went to sleep for some time. And while she was gazing at Lord Ramachandra's beautiful face as he was laying on her lap, Indra's son took the form of a crow and suddenly attacked Sita Devi and pecked her on her chest. And she started to bleed. And a few drops of blood fell on Ramachandra's forehead. And when he awoke, he saw drops of blood. He saw this crow there, whose beak and feet or nails were tainted with blood, and Sita Devi was wounded. So Ramachandra became so angry that someone would attack Sita Devi that he picked a blade of grass, invoked the Brahmastra. Brahmastra is which can bring universal devastation, and released it on the crow. Someone might say it's like killing a fly with a cannonball. Little crow, but Brahmastra. Right? You don't mess with Sita Devi. And like Ambarish Maharaj's story, Durvasa Muni and Ambarish Maharaj, this crow ran or flew all the way to his father Indra and said, please protect me, help me, help me. And Indra said, I see Ramachandra's Brahmastra following you. Sorry, buddy, can't help you. Then that crow flew to Lord Brahma. Brahma said, oh, I would have normally helped you, but when Lord Ramachandra releases arrow, I cannot protect you, I'm so sorry. He went to Lord Shiva, and same situation. And finally, he was given the advice, unless you fall at Sita Devi's feet and beg for forgiveness, there's no hope for you. So he came again and fell at her feet And when she looked at Ramachandra in a very let it go type, Ramachandra let him go. So one may wonder why that Brahmastra didn't finish the fellow right there. And there's a whole different story for it some other time. But there's an important, actually I'm speaking next weekend and this story will be part of it. But the nuance will be why Ramachandra did not kill the crow. But anyway, the crow came back and begged for forgiveness. So that crow's pride was curbed by Ramachandra. As far as Yashodaya Alankrita Punya Murti, that form who is amply decorated by two qualities of Yasha and Daya. Ramachandra is very, very kind and merciful and also very famous. So Yasha and Daya Alankrita Punya Murti. Therefore, this verse also talks about Lord Ramachandra. Nice? All right. Now, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we hear that Lord Chaitanya, although sannyasi, who's in the mood of Radharani, every day would go into these states of ecstasy. Although it's called ecstasy, physical symptoms, we'll all might say, oh, I don't want to be ecstatic like that. That he would be constantly crying for Radharani, for Krishna, for crying and crying, scratching the ground with his nails till they would bleed. His fingertips would bleed. His body would go into transformations. All the joints would become dislocated. And his body would sometimes contract into one lump that you would only see the torso and nothing else. And even after he was inside a particular room, his state of separation from Krishna was so intense that his followers would lock him inside a room called Gambhira so that he doesn't run away. Because one day he ran and the fishermen found him in the sea. Next day he just ran somewhere else. So at night they would lock him up. So, and inside they would hear him cry, Krishna, where are you? Krishna, where are you? These are all very ecstatic symptoms of separation. And one day when he was locked, and next morning they opened the door, he was not in there. Now how he escaped is part of the mystical experiences. So that is the mood of separation, Vipralamba. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu experienced it and demonstrated it for everyone, what that love in separation looks like. Because love in separation is like hot jaggery. When you drink, it is so hot that it burns, that you can't drink further. But it is so sweet that you can't stop. Now this is theoretical for me, but you get the idea. So about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because it is Radharani, oh, projector. I will have to cry. Man, it's like at the very pregnant moment when it just goes away. Anyway, I'm going to continue. So it's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's in the mood of Srimati Radharani, who's constantly in separation from Krishna because Krishna left Vrindavan and went away. And she never knew when he will come back or if he will ever come back. And in this case, Ramachandra is in a similar state of exasperation and desperation because Sita has gone away. So you see the, I guess, connection, if you will. There Krishna has gone, here Sita has gone. And there Radharani is feeling that separation, and here Ramachandra is. But to understand what that looks like, a little science behind it is given by Rupa Goswami in a work called Ujjvala Nilamani. And this is quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Prabhupada, where he says, Chintatra Jagarodvegau, Tanavam Malinangata, Pralapo Vyadhir Unmado, Moho Mrityur Dasha. Dasha means 10. Dasha means state. There are 10 states in which, or 10 states by which this ecstasy of separation manifests in 10 ways. Chinta. Chinta means constant worry and agony. Will Krishna ever come back? Where will I ever see Krishna again? This kind of constant agonizing worry is called chinta. That's one. Jagara, you cannot sleep, awake or wakefulness. Even through the night, the separation is so intense that Radharani or any devotee with that state of ecstasy cannot sleep. Udvega. Udvega means disturbance. The heart is in a completely disturbed state. Tanavam. Tanavam means become emaciated because there's no hunger, there's no thirst, has no interest in eating. Right? All the residents of Vrindavan were just in a complete state of disarray. They never ate, they never slept, they never drank because their love for Krishna was such that they were waiting for him. So Tanavam means becoming very emaciated by ignoring to eat. Malina Angata. Malina Angata. Malina means disheveled, unkempt. They're not interested in taking a bath. They're not interested in cleaning themselves up. No grooming. Just what am I going to groom myself for anyway? Without Krishna, why should I? Like that. Although I was going to say it also sounds like a college student, but that's not it. Pralapa means talking madly, just talking to oneself, soliloquy, walking on the street and just uttering or mumbling words. This is what Srimati Radharani did. Vyadhir. Vyadhir means being as if they are deceased. They will say, my heart is burning, I have such fever that I have no interest in doing anything. If you read the purport, each of them are described by certain verses. Vyadhir Unmada. Unmada means completely mad, rolling on the floor, crying, banging the floor. It's just mad behavior. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested as well. And then Moha means talking like a madman, incoherent. Mrityur. Mrityu means talking about the futility of continuing to live. What's the use of living if I cannot see Krishna again? So these are the 10 states. So with that as the frame, we're going to go to the section of Sundarakanda in Ramayana, where Hanuman has just given the token of Ramachandra's ring to Sita Devi. And Sita Devi asks, obviously, how is Ramachandra doing? I haven't seen him for over a year, almost a year. Does he remember me? Does he think of me? And Hanuman has tears in his eyes, saying, what do you mean, does he think of you? All he does is think of you. And actually he goes through verse by verse that map into those 10. Okay? So we're going to pick from these the one that most matches the word in the second line, Malina Angata, where the sense of being unkempt. So when Sita Devi asks this way, Hanuman says, Naiva damshan na mashakan, na kitan na sarisrapan, raghavo apanayed gatrat, tvad gatena antaratmana. That he is so absorbed in you, tvad gatena antaratmana. His heart is so absorbed in thoughts of you that Raghava, Lord Ramachandra, Apanayed na. He is not removing or eliminating or pushing away. Apanayed means to push or to eliminate. Na, not. Damshan. Flies that are sitting on him. Any one of us have the experience of a fly sitting on you? Even when you are chanting Hare Krishna? What happens? Reflex is to push it away because we are aware of it. Na damshan. When flies sit on him, he does not even flick them away. Na mashakan. When mosquitoes bite him, he does not. Everyone has that reflex. If not, go to India, and even when you're talking, you will. Some people have a tennis racket for it. I mean, it's horrendous to electrocute mosquitoes. But hey, but out of reflex, we will. Ramchandra does not even notice that mosquitoes are biting him. Nakitan. Kita means worm. When a worm crawls on him, he does not notice. Na sarisrapan. Even when a snake crawls on him. He's in a forest. But his heart is so absorbed in Sita Devi that flies, mosquitoes, bugs, whatever, worms, even snakes, when they crawl on him, he's unaware or not even interested in moving them away. Na apanayet gatrat, from his body. Why? Twadgaten antaratmana. That is the kind of absorption in Sita Devi for him. Now let me ask you, some of us are studying Bhagavad Gita. Where does the phrase Gaten Antaratmana show up in Bhagavad Gita? Very good. Chapter 6, text 47, which some of the children are going to sing today. And that was the reason that's one of the delightful connections why I picked that one. Where Krishna says, and I'm making this claim that Krishna is in one sense referring to his own state and to the state of Radharani and all the such devotees who are completely absorbed in him. He says, Yoginam api sarvesham. The word yogi in a very direct way means a yogi, as we understand the word yogi. But in an indirect way, the word yogi refers to a devotee. So, yoginam api sarvesham, among all the devotees, madgatena antaratmana. So he says, madgatena antaratmana. Those who are fully absorbed in me. Here, he is absorbed in her. Madgatena antaratmana, shraddhavan, bhajate yomam, same yukta tamo mataha. Yukta tama means the best of those who are connected. Or the best connection is being completely absorbed in me like this. So this is Ramachandra. The reason I picked this verse is I've heard from many people, and I also used to think of Ramachandra as a very serious person. Strict, rules will never, very, very, what should I say, good boy. And Krishna is quite the opposite. I mean, very good boy, I should say. Krishna, in terms of rules, or he has a very different persona, but most people do think of Ramachandra as the very straight-jacketed, like that. Not the case. Not the case at all. And it's right here. And it's being spoken by Hanuman. The role that he plays is like from Rupa Goswami we are hearing, from Hanuman Sita Devi is hearing. Because she plays the role of a living entity who's concerned. Any one of us concerned ever that I'm offering prayers to Radha Madhava, Radha Shamasundar, Kishore Kishori. I'm trying to think of him. Does he ever think of me? Ever had the thought? Does God ever think of me? Anyone have that? No? I have. I wonder. And the answer is here. One may say, well, that is for Sita Devi. Yeah, but Sita Devi is also thinking of him that way. So when we do, or to whatever degree we do, to that degree. So maybe in our case, he may be moving the snakes away, but the flies not, who knows, right? That's a joke. Uh, but it's the reciprocity, there's a reciprocal intensity of love. So this is Hanuman speaking to Sita Devi, and this is that yoginam api sarvesham. These are the women or the gopis in Vrindavan who are so absorbed in Krishna that wherever they turn, they only see him. When they see the dark cloud, they're reminded of Krishna because he has a dark body. When they see the tamal tree, they think of him and they run to the tamal tree thinking it is Krishna because it's blackish in color. When they hear the birds chirping, they think he's coming back. When they see clouds of dust, they think he's coming back with his cows. They cannot think of him or they cannot forget him for a moment. As hard as it is for us to think of Krishna for a moment, it is as hard for them to forget Krishna for a moment. This is Madgatena Antaratmana. So when the children are singing this verse tonight, if you like, we can take our thoughts towards what it means and what wonderful gift or path we have been given to also be in this Madgaten Antaratmana condition, to grow into it, to develop into it. And therefore, when we hear Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing in Kirtan in a very absorbed way for hours and hours and hours, and his associates, for example, one associate called Vakreshwar Pandit, when the Kirtan was very good, he had danced in Kirtan for 72 hours non-stop. No break, no water, no Gatorade, Powerade, electrolytes, nothing, no eating, no sleeping, dancing straight on for 72 hours. That is Madgaten Antaratmana. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lifted and took all of his associates into that kind of raptures of ecstasy. So we hear where Chaitanya Ramachandra pining for Sita. We hear Radharani pining for Krishna. And in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, both. Together. He is Krishna feeling like or in the mood of Radharani, pining for Krishna. Because that's the call to action for us. As devotees, we might wonder, what is the goal? I am chanting Hare Krishna. I'm interested in going to the Hare Krishna temple. I am perhaps already initiated, or I am interested in reading Bhagavad Gita. What is the goal? What does it look like? So the goal is Madgaten Antaratmana, for example, in today's. The same thing is spoken in Bhagavad Gita in a different phrase. Instead of Madgaten Antaratmana, Krishna says, Manmana bhava madbhakta. Let your mind be constantly absorbed in me. It's the same thing, just different words or different phraseology. But that's the goal. And the goal or the path to get to that goal is not alone. It is mostly by grace. When a devotee is young and he or she has practiced for some years, chanting of Hare Krishna, following the bhakti principles, they feel a sense of happiness, they feel a sense of progress. And a young devotee will think, I'm doing something properly, I'm doing it right, therefore I'm progressing. A little bit more matured devotee will consider and say, well, actually it's not because of my effort. My effort is a very, very small piece in the equation. It is the force of bhakti that is pulling me forward. And a even more matured devotee understands that actually it is Krishna who's pulling me towards him, or Sri Ramachandra, or Narsimhadev, or Varahadev, Vamadev, whoever is the personality that attracts you, that is the personality that is drawing us towards him, or actually towards them, because they're together, Radha and Krishna, Sita and Ramachandra, or Lakshmi Narsimha. They are drawing us towards them. And our job is very simple. We just don't put any blocks in that being pulled there. Our progress is limited by the hurdles I put in front of me. The hurdles I put is, for example, doubts, or unresolved issues, or things of this world that I perhaps wittingly or unwittingly put for myself. My job is to make sure that I don't. I let that happen. Let Krishna or Radha and Krishna pull me towards them. That is the goal. And the way to speed on that track, or move without much friction, is to spend our energy in hearing and chanting, or actually hearing, chanting, remembering, serving, etc., etc. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. 9 different ways, or 9 inclusive ways, but that is our method. The more we hear, the more we are to be attracted about Radha and Krishna. So thank you. That was a perfect alarm set. I really appreciate whoever did that. Thank you. Any questions or comments? Okay, cool. Thank you very much for having me over, and see you again sometime. But now is the verses by school children, Sunday school children. And I think one of the verses is this Yogi Nam Api Sarvesham. Okay, thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hey, I'm done.
Hare Krishna.
While they're coming up, any comments, thoughts, reflection? You like it? You didn't like it? All right, thank you. Illusion means the person is not there, but they see them. They see in the trees. They see Krishna in the tamarind tree. Or in Ramayana, when Ramachandra sees in a pond some fish moving restlessly, he immediately is seeing Sita's eyes, because generally a beautiful set of eyes, or a woman with beautiful eyes, is called Meenakshi, because eyes that are restless is one of the signs of beauty. And when he sees the fish, he's immediately remembering Sita's eyes, and he thinks she's around, or he's running here and there thinking she's there. Or the moha is, they will ask Ramachandra, ask the trees, the flowers, the birds, the deer, have you seen Sita? As if they were going to respond. He talks to a mountain. It's all illusion like that. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, what? Sit. Hey, go on that side because you are the back not to the. With all these children, you don't need no mic. Go ahead.
Dhritarashtravacha dharmakshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamakas pandavascheva kimma kurmata sanjaya. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in a place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do?
Now I am confused of my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. As embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul suddenly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change.
O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O Sayana of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed.
For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever-existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain.
For the devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. The a spirit so bewildered by the influence of false egos thinks himself the doer of activities that are actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature.
Evam buddhaye param buddhvam samstabyat manam atmana shahi shatram vahabaham kamarupam durasadam.
Thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, O mighty armed Arjuna, one should study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, and thus by spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust.
The supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and the science as it is, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost.
Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in my millennium in my original transcendental form.
One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and the activities does not, upon leaving the body, take this birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. O Arjuna!
Just try to learn the truth by approaching the spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge onto you because they have seen the truth.
A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme Lord of planets, demigods, benefactors, and well-wishers of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries.
And of all yogis, the one with good faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion.
Also the teacher who is the person who has been training them. You are giving certificates?
Yes, Mataji. Can you please distribute?
Oh, we can just pass this. Are you going to identify who is who here?
Yes,
okay. Because I don't know who is who. Krishna Singh. Krishna Singh. Sri Anish Chennaru. Thank you. Krishna Nilesh Gracia. Dia Setia. Dia. Thank you. Adi Setia. Adi. Kashika Yadav. Oh, Kaushika. Jiva Dayal Dashani. Prem Kishan Patel. Wow, Prem Kishan. They are here. Oh, sorry. And Vinikesh Patel. Nainika Jidgamu. Shiv Thakur. Swarit Gutula. Swarit. Arush Hampi. What is that? Sirivanka. Give them a big hand. Give a big hand to the teacher. It has been over 30 years since I have done service. I started serving children's department, and it is continuing. And this is the greatest pleasure. They are so wonderful. They are the future of ISKCON, and this is so true in a relatively newer, growing temple like Naperville. There are different age groups of people, and these are the future. And I see Mohan Leela Prabhu over there. Please give him a big hand. And also, there is an amazing number of teachers who are serving in this children's department. Give them a big hand. Thank you for arranging this. Really appreciate that. So today's Sunday feast is sponsored by 3 families. Sharavanan Prabhu for Abhisha's 11th birthday, requesting the blessings from the devotees. Is Sharavanan Prabhu here? Please, Prabhu, Ramdas Prabhu, please take care of Sharavanan Prabhu's. Abhisha is there. Very good. Wish you a very wonderful Krishna conscious birthday. We will pray for you together in the end. Hari Ravella Prabhu, he's thankful to Lord Krishna for the achievement of his son getting into Stanford class of 2026. Is it 2026? Oh, he will be graduating into it. Give a big hand. Yes, Hari Ravella Prabhu is here. Oh, there, please. Wish him all the best. Blessings from their lordships, devotees. Archita Dasi Mataji is celebrating Diya Dasi, daughter's birthday. Is she here? Archita Dasi Mataji? Desai. Archita Desai. I cannot see anything. I'm sorry. Announcing every Sunday that I am going blind. So, Hare Krishna. So, they're not here today? Prasadam has been delivered. Okay. Thank you, devotees, all for being here. And let us chant the holy names of Krishna for the spiritual well-beings of all these wonderful people who are sponsoring Sunday feast, their children who are graduating, going to college, their children who are having birthday. Wish them all the best. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So for the Sunday feast, for future Sunday feast, anybody wanting to celebrate anything or offering prayers to their lordships to receive the blessings of the devotees, you can contact Shyam Prabhu or Ram Das Prabhu. And this is becoming almost the end of the year 2021. Shyam, do you have something to announce?
All of us take a little bit extra pain. It's important because we all, it's all sacrifice, it's all sadhana we all are doing here. So let's commit, let's plan ourselves to take that extra pain for next year for this temple. Wherever possible, save those extra bit of money, inspire 2 people, 2 people, 3 people, some relatives, friends, families, so that this temple get built. We are getting very close, very close. So please, please, please do that. But we are not there yet. I don't want to false promise that there are somebody, millionaires or billionaires sitting and writing the check. That's not happening. It's getting built by you. All your small, the last week, it's very inspiring, I got to tell you. Panduranga Prabhu, can you please come inside? Panduranga Prabhu. So, Panduranga Prabhu, last week or before, he has a private gathering here in this temple. And he's all personal, nothing needs to be done, but he intentionally chose to do it here. And in this process, he raised like 600 rupees, $600. So that $600 is big thing, right? So likewise, those small creative way we all can think whether you want to grow tulsi plant or distribute some food or do a private event. That's what will make this temple build. And then you feel like this is your temple, this is your personal own temple, not like somebody's temple, somebody built and we are just using it. So my humble request again, please, 10 days are left. Look for those opportunities. We are behind, like this year, we are 150,000 about behind with our number. So our goal was $850,000 we wanted to raise. And so far we are close to $700,000. So let's see what we can catch up with everybody's support. So please, I very humbly request, please do whatever you can. And I will keep asking until this temple is debt free. So long way to go. So please bear with me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you all. Prasadam is served downstairs. I would request you to take just one box first, and if there is more left over, you can take, because it has become kind of difficult for the Sunday feast team to figure out like how many boxes to pack, because before it is when you are standing there and serving, it is so easy, but when you have to pack, you have no idea how many. But if there is extra, everybody can take. Thank you. And a huge thanks to the cooking teams and Panduranga Gopal Prabhu and the team. Please give a big hand. And one other thing I would like to announce is that there is a volunteer building effort that is going on here, and we are trying to do that not only here in the temple but through so many other avenues. But almost every day, every Sunday, there is one person standing near the door or near the reception area. If anybody is interested in any kind of service, you can pick up a service list available there. We can either put you specifically in an area or in a pool, a volunteer pool where we can turn to when there is a lack of manpower. So please kindly sign up. Appreciate that very, very much. Hare Krishna.